A very warm welcome to all our listeners. Do you remember your preschool days when you were introduced to the world of numbers, letters, and interesting concepts? I'm sure that you're fondly recalling these memories. What we learn during our preschool and early years forms the building blocks for lifelong learning. But sadly, the numbers speak a different story. According to the World Bank's Learning Poverty Index, 55% of India's school-going children cannot read and understand a short, age-appropriate text by class 5. But as they say, there is light at the end of the tunnel. The Ministry of Education will lead the implementation of the National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy, Nipun Bharat, which is the national mission on foundational literacy and numeracy. Muktangan Education Trust, since its establishment in 2003, has been actively involved in providing child-friendly education to children in Mumbai's G South ward. Mrs. Elizabeth Mehta, Muktangan's founder and leading educationist, laid a strong foundation in early years pedagogy and practices based on active constructivism since the inception of the first Balwadi in 2003. Realizing the importance of foundational literacy and numeracy in a child's life, we have with us our guest speakers who have years of experience in early years education. Ms. Gauravi Jadhav is associated with Muktangan since 2007. She is currently the leader of early childhood development. As part of her role, she works with the preschool coordinator and the preschool team for curriculum planning, teacher development, and outreach initiatives related to early childhood care and education. Ms. Shashikala Nagmanshi has been working in Muktangan since 2006. She joined as a trainee and currently she is working as the preschool coordinator. Her role is to support and guide the preschool faculty in planning and implementing the preschool program. We welcome you to this discussion. Ms. Gauravi, if we look at the mission statements or the key goals that Nipun Bharat aims at addressing, we understand that it is aligned with the NEP 2020 as well. As an early years practitioner, what are some of the practices you have implemented in helping children read with comprehension and understand numeracy concepts?
Thank you, Shruti. A very warm welcome to all of you too. In terms of literacy and numeracy, what Muktangan has done, we've achieved a great deal in finding out what is it that strengthens those foundation years for our children. If you talk about foundational literacy, it begins with the four skills that most educators are aware of: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Now, if you see the problem with the way literacy is done in the conventional schools and the traditional models that people follow across the country, they focus a lot on writing. And that is where all of the foundation goes wrong. It has to begin with listening. So when we talk about listening, in Muktangan, we do a lot on listening, right from singing songs to getting children to listen to the cues in the environment, sounds around in the environment. They do a lot of storytelling, a lot of listening in terms of not just the child listening, but the teacher also listening to the child. So a lot of role modeling happens in terms of the best practices when it comes to listening. Speaking, yes, a lot of opportunities are there in our planned activities where children get to speak. If you look at the traditional model of education, children speak very less. They are supposed to listen to the teacher and follow what the teacher says and write a lot. But that's not what happens in the foundational years, not just in preschool, 3 to 6 years. But if you look at even 6 to 9 years, the first, second, third grade, a lot of listening and speaking is done there. So in terms of the mission FLN mission that the government has initiated, and the Nipun Bharat as they call it now, it's amazing how Muktangan just fits every aspect that is expected there. In terms of reading, a lot of reading from the environment Muktangan does. So there's not focus on the traditional, okay, read after me, BAT, bat, CAT, cat. It's not like that. but a lot of reading from the environment is encouraged. So that is where it is done. And in terms of writing, a lot of focus on fine motor development, on doing activities which are appropriate for children. This is really, really important. NAUIC and all the international experts on early childhood have emphasized and re-emphasized that the pre-writing skills and the pre-reading skills are more important than focusing or getting children to do traditional writing right away. So it's not about writing ABCs, it's about getting the right skills that the NEP also talks about, that get the children to do and things that will develop the right skills that will help them learn better in future. So that's what Muktangan does best in terms of foundational literacy. In terms of numeracy, Muktangan believes that maths is everywhere. Maths is in the environment. Children are always constantly exposed to different numerical concepts without us teaching them. So they learn comparisons from the environment. They learn how to measure all the pre-number concepts where they have to do one-to-one correspondence or count using different objects, use numbers, see the numerals in the environment. It's something that children naturally do. What Muktangan does in preschool is encourage a lot of these in the classroom with the way the classroom environment is, the way the curriculum is planned.
Yeah. That's wonderful, because I think that growing up, most of us have had an innate fear of maths, an innate fear of numbers, and that fear continues even to our adulthood. So when we make preschool, it brings us back to the importance of how it is so necessary to give children these experiences where they can actually learn and thrive to their full potential. We all understand how important it is for a child to engage in play. Growing up, most of us have learned in a very traditional manner where paper pencil was primarily the mode that we have used. Now we see how we are slowly diversifying this, and there is a marked difference, and now we are slowly focusing on engaging children actively. There's a lot of emphasis that the child should be an active participant in this learning process. How are these aspects being implemented in the preschool classroom?
Thank you, Shruti. Welcome to you. I would like to mention here that when I hear about the preschool, so we need to have the corner for the children, where the children can look at the corner, look at the print of the labels, so that the child can learn from it. It's not about only giving them the paper pencil test or anything. It's about the environment, how we are enriching our classroom itself, where the child can go there and they can observe the print and they can start reading that with the help of the teacher. Yeah, I would like to mention here that we have a lot of things in the classroom, like daily routine. When we are singing any of the activity, when we are saying any of the activities, we do the lot of activity like transition activity. Yeah? We have daily routine in Grit and Mid Circle. We are having a lot of singing activity. We do transition, like Grit and Mid is over, now we show and tell. So slowly we are going. So that what happens, the child is listening to that. Okay, and also we are having constructive play, which is very important for the child, and where the child is learning from it, where the child is taking initiative to choose what he is going to do with that material and how they are going to work with it. For example, if suppose I have to go to the market, so what are things I will require for that, so that teacher and the child will have the interaction with them, and then they will discuss. Suppose if I am a teacher, I will ask that child, okay, so what are you going to do in the work time? So the child will say, today I want to go to the market. Okay, then teacher, okay, so if you want to go to the market, what all things will you require for that? The child might say, I will need vegetables, I will require some money, I will require a bag. So then the teacher asks, okay, so where will you get those materials? Okay, then the child says, we do have in Muktangan a lot of corners, like 9 corners are there. I would like to mention here, block corner is there, then home corner is there, music, science corner is there, art and craft corner, book corner, quiet corner. So these are very important corners. Even we have writing corner as well. Yeah. So From then the child go there and then they have their work and then they again come in the circle and they talk about it. Then teacher support during the work time what the child is doing it. Suppose sometimes the child go and he takes the materials and he is pretend like going to the market. And the teacher go, so what are you going? What are you doing here? The child says, I am going to the market. I have taken this and now I am going to make pizza out of it. Okay, so the pizza out of it, it is very important for the child. The child said pizza word, right? So that's how the child, then teacher has to support like P for pizza. So every time, every single time the child, the teacher has to support the child. Yeah, and then you can gradually see the development in the child. So in Muktangan, we are in the beginning of the year, we do a lot of activity like name tag activity, which is very crucial for the children. Okay, so the teacher writes the name of the child draw the whichever drawing he likes to draw. Okay, then he talk about it. Then the child only sees the name tag. So when the child is coming from the home, he is taking his name tag from the home board and is keeping on the Balwadi board. It is like a child is observing the picture of it. After 2 months, 3 months, the child starting looking at the word. Like if my name is Shashi, so I started looking at the S. So the print is like S. So it's written like this. So slowly the teacher has to support that time. Okay. Then we have a lot of bulletin board in the classroom. So in the bulletin board also, if the child has said any of the story or something has been written by the teacher has to go in the corner during the play. She has to read by herself. Then the child listen to that. Yeah. So it is a lot of play happening during the play. The child is learning a lot of things. Yeah. And then I would like to mention one observation, that dual language is so important. As a teacher, I should be knowing at least different languages. I should be not knowing कि हाँ मुझे सब पता नहीं होना चाहिए, but yes, शुरुआती चीजें पता होनी चाहिए मुझे. For example, there was a child. The child was crying so much. I just entered in the classroom and I asked what happened to this child. So the thing was like the child was not understanding what the teacher is saying. Then I asked him. The child was saying कि हमें घर पे जाना है, हमें घर पे जाए एक बार. So I understood because I understand that language. As soon as I replied to the child, अच्छा आपको घर पे जाना है, the child feels so secured that somebody understood my language. Yeah, so the language is like it should be not rigid. Okay, it's okay. We understand that English is very important, but in earlier dual language is also very important because the child is coming from other local areas. Yeah. So
and he also talks about using the home language and respecting the home language first, and then introducing the language of instruction of the school or English. It has to be introduced.
Absolutely, and I think that's so important because growing up children, the first environment that they're exposed to is their house and the languages that they keep listening to in their home. If the school starts fostering that language, it will really make them feel, like you said, very secure, very safe. They'll really feel cared for. And in terms of this constructive play that you were saying, that's also very interesting because I remember as children we've all done these things where we've taken dupattas and we've pretended to be teachers and we've pretended to be doctors, had a stethoscope around our necks, and we've just been so creative and imaginative with play. And now to see how it is being weaved in and it is so constructive, where the teachers are actually guiding these little children to use their creativity, their imagination, build their skills. It's a very, very holistic and an integrated form of development. So I think that's very, very interesting.
And play is natural. Children naturally, all of us naturally play. We are inclined to play. Our bodies are designed, our brains are designed to interact with people and materials in the environment. Sitting in one place and rote learning is not what our brains are designed for.
Absolutely.
And there is more than enough research evidence that that validates why play is so crucial for children.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that all the points that you all have shared in this discussion really makes us think on how can we as a system make it more interesting for children, make early years very fun, very interesting, very engaging, and at the same time, keep in mind that it's not just one aspect of the child that we aim at developing. Like earlier the system was always writing oriented, but now we realize that all the aspects of the child, whether it's their socio-emotional development, their physical development, their health, their fine motor skills, their numeracy concepts, everything we need to develop and give them that environment in the school. So thank you so much, Ms. Gauravi and Ms. Shashi, for joining us in this first part, which is so interesting, and we look forward to discussing more with you in the coming parts. Thank you.
Thank you.